Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Janelle and I'm from Nellsbelles Designs. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw and paint this super cute dinosaur. So what you're going to need to complete your project is a pencil, a rubber, a Sharpie or some kind of permanent marker, some watercolor paper, some watercolor paints, a paintbrush or two, and some water. So let's get started. So as always, the first thing we're going to do is to break down our picture into shapes and lines. And we're going to start with the head of the dinosaur today, and we're going to draw it first. And as you can see, it takes up that top quarter of the page, and the head is made up of an oval shape, not quite completed. We're going to start here under his chin. We're going to come around and we're going to stop just at the top here before we bring it back around to make a complete oval. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to come down and around in an oval, and I'm going to stop about here. So the next part is to draw his neck, the back of his head down to the back here, and I'm going to do this in all one big piece. So I'm going to start up here, I'm going to come down, I'm going to do the little hump at his back and come up on a curve to a point. And it's like a U, but it's got some little curves and some bumps in it as well. So let's get started with that and draw that. So I'm going to start here on where we finished off, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to come around, and I'm going to come around this way and then bring his tail up to a point. So then we're going to come back and we will do his the other side of his tail. So I'm going to bring that down following the line down, and I'm going to finish about here so we can put his leg in. So I'm going to come up here and start, and I'm going to come around and follow those curves and bring it down around to where we want to put his leg. And I'll probably come around a little bit too far there, but we'll fix that. So the next part is I'm going to start up here and I'm going to follow his neckline around and bring it down to the front of his belly and around here to make his foot. So I'm going to give him a little curve. I'm going to come down and I'm going to bring it around to about here. And then we're going to put in his feet. So the first one I'm going to do is I'll do his front one first. So I'm going to bring that around just a little fraction, and then I'm going to do his leg with a curve, come down on a curve. It's like a big U. Come down and give him some curves and bring it up on an angle up to meet the top. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to do a little curve, and I'm going to bring his back of his leg up to the top. Then we've got his little leg out the front here, so we're going to do that again, and it's following the curve. So curvy line down, we're going to stop here, do a little curve around to make it a curvy base, and then bring it back up to meet. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to come out, I'm going to bring it around and come up. And I put a little bit too big of a curve there, but that's okay, I'm happy with that, and we'll leave that. Now I've brought this part of his the back of him down a little bit too far to put his leg in, so I'm just going to rub a little tiny bit of that out just to bring that back, and then I'm going to put in his back leg. So his back leg has got a curve, just like a curve. It comes around in a little curve, it goes with one big curve, one little curve around to the base. We come along the bottom, another curve, and up, and bring the back of his leg up. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to come out and come down, I'm going to bring it around and around and bring it up, and that's the back of his leg. So then I'm going to put in his stomach where it hangs, and then I'm going to put in his little back leg, which is just a little piece like that. So there is our dinosaur. Now we've drawn our dinosaur, and now it's about decorating him and putting all the little bit of extras in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we will do that as we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do his little toes, and all they are is 3 little curves on the edges of his feet. So we'll go ahead and we'll put those in, and then he's got he's got an eye that sits up here, so I'll go ahead and do that, and that's just an oval with another oval on the inside and a little tiny circle in the middle just to make the highlight of his eye. So I'm going to draw him in now, his eye, so it's just a circle with another circle inside it, and then it's got a little highlight. So then we'll put in his mouth, and his mouth's just a curvy line coming out from here, and we'll bring the curvy line out. We're going to give him a little, the edge of his mouth, and we're going to give him a little oval for his nose. And then we'll do his humps on the back, and all they are is like the first part of an M, the letter M when you go with the hump with the M. So we'll just do that on the top. So that is just a matter of bringing it up. And then you can do as many as these as you like, and you can bring them all the way down, or you can just do like I have done and just do a few at the top, and then we'll bring them down and we'll do some more down the bottom. So we're going to complete these down here as well, and we're just going to bring them around on an angle, bring him up the back of his tail just like that. Then looking at him, he's got some spots, and those spots are made up of ovals and some little round circles. So we'll go ahead and we'll put those in now. So he's got a big spot here, he's got another one here, he's got a couple of little ones here, he's got one over this way, and you can do them all different ways, however you want to do them. And this is another spot where another part of your drawing where you can actually take poetic license to do whatever or creative license to do however you want to do those spots. And you may not want to do spots, you may want to do something completely different. You may want to do you might want to do squares or diamonds or triangles or even stars on his back. It's entirely up to you. You can do whatever you want. You might just want to leave him all one colour and just leave it plain. At the end of the day, it's your painting and you can do whatever you like. I'm actually going to give him another one of these here, another little hump. So there's our dinosaur. We've drawn our dinosaur, and now it's about putting in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So the background, he's got a little bit of ground at the back, so you can see that he's standing. We're going to do some tufts of grass over in this corner, and all they are is starting on the edge of your paper, coming out on an angle to a point, coming back, going out on an angle to a point, coming back, and just continuing along until you've got all these little points to make the grass. It's got some more circles and ovals over here to make it look like there's some rocks on the ground. And we'll just another tuft of grass here, so we'll just put that in there, and I'm going to put some more little spots over here. And there we are. There we have our dinosaur already complete. Now he's drawn, and it's just a matter about putting colour to him. It's outlining his shape first and then putting colour to him. So I'm going to take my marker, or my Sharpie marker, and I'm going to follow those lines, and I'm going to outline our dinosaur, our ground and our grass, just to give him a solid background, and then we'll paint him in. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to follow these lines around. I'm going to bring it around up to a point. So I've done that in one big piece. Now you don't have to do that in one big piece. You might decide that you want to do that and break that down. You might want to do it exactly the way we drew it and do it that way. That's entirely up to you. So I'm going to come to this point now, and I'm going to come down and follow it, and I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to draw in his legs. We're going to rub out. We're going to rub out all those lines once we get started. So we've done all these outlines. We will then come back and rub out all the pencil lines. So you just keep going ahead and draw in the dinosaurs bits and pieces, all the shapes that make up our dinosaur, including all these bumps. And I'm just going to completely just carry along and keep going the way I am. And we're going to just keep drawing and keep drawing until we've got it all complete. Keep going over the lines. Until we've got our picture all complete with the dark outline, the marker outline. And then we will colour him in. But he is super cute. And we can, when it comes to painting him, you may decide that you don't want to use the watercolour paints like we are. You might have watercolour pens at home, or you might have crayons, or you may have just normal pencils or normal markers that you might want to use, and then that way you can just make him however you want, and you can use whatever product you have at home to make him work. So I'm going to colour in his eye now and just give him his circles or his highlight. Then I'm going to colour in his eye, and then that's done before we put the paint on. And then I'm going to rub out all our lines, and then we will add the paint to our picture. And while I'm at it, I'm going to give really cute little eyelashes, and I'm going to use my pencil to rub out the pencil marks. Oh, sorry, use my rubber to rub out the pencil marks. Just go around and rub them out. It's not too many today, so it's just a matter of just going through them and rubbing out those little pencil marks before we put the paint on, because we don't want those to show when we paint our dinosaur. So let's get, now we can pull out our paints and we can get started. So I'm going to use two brushes today. I've got a small brush and a big brush, and I'm going to use the small brush because the bigger brush first, because I want to paint the majority of his body. So I'm going to pick up some water, and I'm going to put my bit of water on my palette just to loosen up that green paint, and then I'm going to take that paint and paint our dinosaur. So I'm just going to rub that brush all the way around our dinosaur, colouring him in to make him very, very pretty. And again, you can colour him in whatever colour you would like to. I just chose to do him green, but you might like to do him blue or orange or brown, and it's entirely up to you how you paint him and what colours you paint him. This is your drawing, so you can do it as any colour you like. So we're just going to go around the edges and paint it all up and make him pretty. Anytime you need more water on your palette, just keep putting more water on your palette and picking up that paint and colouring him in. And just keep going around the edges. Now you don't have to paint him as fast as I am. You can take your time and paint him however slow you would like to go. But just enjoy the process. Enjoy watching that paint flow onto the page. And the way that it spreads so evenly and so pretty. I'm going to come up to the top up here, and I'm going to do his tail. And I'm going to go around his little dots here, because we're going to come back and paint them a different colour. Just go around him again, add a few more colours, or a bit more paint, sorry, a few more paints. It's going to be very pretty because we're going to add lots of colours to him. Just carry on, keep painting away until you've got him all coloured in and you're happy with the way that he looks. And come back and do his feet. And run that up. That's a little bit too much water on that. Just spread that water, that colour, make it a little bit darker. Do his other leg. Then I'm going to come back and I'm just going to spread a little bit of that paint to make around the edges to make him just a little tiny bit darker. This leg here is a little bit pale, so we'll just go around the edges. And there he is. So he's nice and green. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to pick up this yellow. I'm just going to put some water into my yellow palette. I'm going to pick up some yellow, and I'm going to, while I have the yellow on my brush, I'm going to switch over to the smaller brush. And as you can see, it ran. So I'm going to just put a little bit of yellow on his toes, like that. I'm also going to come up here and I'm going to paint, while I have the yellow on my brush, I'm going to paint a couple of these little humps in the yellow so that we've got that the yellow painted, and we can come back then and pick up some other colours to finish it off. So I'm just going to carry on then and just carry on with painting up the colours. So now I'm going to go into my blue and I'm going to pick up this blue, and we're going to come back and paint his spots. And just carry on and keep painting those spots as we go around. And whenever you feel as though your brush hasn't got enough paint on it, just pick up a little bit of colour on your brush and come back and colour it in. Just keep colouring in until you've got your spots all completed. And then we've got these smaller ones over here and on the top of his head, which we will also paint in the blue. And then that's done. And then we're going to reset our brush and we're going to pick up another colour. So this time I'm going to pick up the orange and I'm going to paint a couple of his little humps to give him some nice colours. It's nice and bright. I'm going to keep rinsing out my brush and I'm going to come back and keep adding. So now I'm going to pick up this pretty pink and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paint up this one. And then I'm going to come back and pick it up again. I'm going to come back and paint this one. And I'm going to paint the end one up here. Pick just a little bit more paint up. I'm just going to dab it in here to make that just a little bit darker. And the same as this one here. It's nice and bright. So now I'm going to pick up this pretty pink. And I'm going to do this one here. You just carry on and you can paint this as everyone, and like I said, this is entirely up to you on how you paint this. You may decide that you want to paint them all the one colour Again, that is entirely up to you. Just keep painting away until you've got him the way that you want him and you've got him all coloured in. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to pick up the purple. I'm going to paint this hump here. And I'm going to paint purple with this one. And there he is, all nice and coloured. Isn't he beautiful? He's so cute. And now I'm going to go and pick up my bigger brush again, and I'm going to dab a little bit of water into the brown on my palette, and I'm going to colour in the spots, the little rocks here. I'm going to keep colouring that in. I'm going to come back in and paint this one over here. And while I'm at it, I'm going to also pick up a little bit and paint the nose. Paint his nose. I'm going to go back to my little brush and I'm going to pick up the darker green and I'm going to paint the grass. So it's about putting that colour onto the paper, staying in the lines as much as you can. It is watercolour paints and they will run sometimes, so that's okay. We don't mind that at times, so it's not too bad if it blends. This is about the process. There we go. So there's the grass. Now I'm going to pick up my brush again and I'm going to take the lighter colour in the brown and I'm going to paint the background. And it's just picking up your colour and spreading it around your page. Just better. Whenever you need to, put more water onto your page, onto your palette, so that you can actually spread that paint. Just keep spreading it around. Go in between everything. Put that colour on your page. As I said, if it picks up some of that other colour, that's okay. Just spread it around. Makes it look like that it's meant to be there then. Just keep going around, enjoying the process. There we go. Now we have the background painted. And now all it's left to do is to paint up the sky. And I chose to paint the sky in the light blue, and it's entirely up to you on the colour that you do. You may decide that you don't want to paint it all one colour. You might decide that you want to do that with some swirls, or you might want to do some other shapes at the back, or spots, or whatever it is that you want to do, and it's entirely up to you to do that however you want. But as I said, I chose to do mine as the blue sky, so I'm going to carry on with this one and keep colouring it in until I've got the background done in the sky colour. Being and taking it very careful that you don't pick up those colours, because those colours might just spread into it, and again, it happens. Spread it around. We'll see, I've just picked up a little bit of pink, but we'll spread that through. It's okay. Just carry on until you've got it all completed. You don't have to go right up against it if you don't want to. You can just stay away a little bit from the edges of your dinosaur. It's entirely up to you how you do that. I'll take one last look at it and see if you're happy with the way that it looks. A little bit of pink there, so I'm going to spread that through. I've just got a little bit too much water on it now. And there we go. And there we have, there's our dinosaur. Isn't he cute? And he's so complete now. So I hope you enjoyed painting your dinosaur with me. As always, thank you for watching, and I really do appreciate that you've come to have a look. And if you have decided to paint a dinosaur at home, I'd appreciate it if you showed it to me in the comments. Don't forget to join us next time when we come back next time to do some more. So until then, stay creative and happy painting. Thank you. Bye.